1,
2,
3, let's go!
Now, I never really was much of a fitness person growing up. Mostly because I was a fat kid. Which didn't really bother me. Being class clown substituted quite well. I still got picked for sports teams, but mostly because kids would rather laugh at my jokes than actually do fitness. Or they just needed someone big enough to be goalie. Regardless, it's never really been my thing till recently. Because at the ripe old age of 20-something, I've realized that if I want to achieve all the goals I've set for myself, I'm gonna have to be fit. So, I've joined a gym, a CrossFit team, and in a bid to distract myself from the fact that I'm actually exercising, I've started doing more outdoorsy things. Time to cut back on the drinking and stop eating junk food. So in today's bid to trick myself into doing something, I've decided to ignore TLC's advice and chase me some waterfalls. Starting with whatever waterfall was closest to me at the time, which happens to be the Dry Creek Waterfall Walk in Belmont Regional Park. But if you're from the area, you'll probably already know that it's about 15 minutes south of the Gardens of Isengard. I'm not even making that up, it's actually called that. The White Wizard Saruman has a community plot in Wellington, and I didn't know about it. Which, to be honest, does make sense. I mean, he grew an army. Why not some tomatoes? Anyway, Dry Creek is a combined national park and camping ground. So if you're thinking of staying overnight, all you need to do is pay a small fee at the office. The office is located near the entrance and is in fact a small box with envelopes. Yeah, seriously. And if you're thinking, but people could just stay here and not pay. Wrong, my friend, because in New Zealand,
we have what we call a trust system.
The waterfall walk is about 80 minutes there and back again. Lord of the Rings reference there for you, you're welcome. And like a typical walk to the dairy in New Zealand, it starts off with lots of fern trees everywhere and heaps of cars parked on the lawn. About 5 minutes up the track, there's a courtesy sign that lets you know that your feet are probably going to get wet. Which is about the time that I realised that my shoes are from No. 1 Shoe Warehouse, and I'm probably going to have to throw them away after this. But that's what you get when you ignore TLC. See? Wet feet. The track follows the river up to the waterfall, so for a lot of the trek, there's no clear path. Which means building your own bridges out of rocks, or just taking the plunge and stepping in. To be honest, I actually loved this. Walking for the sake of walking is boring as hell, but climbing cliffs, leaping over rocks, that's my jam. I'm all about that. Like most New Zealand hikes, it's a bit like stepping back in time to the good old days before humans ruined everything. The walk is also nice and cool because the tree cover above is so thick that it almost creates its own climate below. Moss grows on everything and the valley is shaped in such a way that even if there's just a little bit of wind, there's a deep, eerie humming sound over the tops of the trees. And no, I wasn't just going crazy. At about halfway is probably your No. 1 Instagram stop zone. And you bet your ass I took a photo there. A giant split boulder in the middle of a forest? I'm obviously going to do the Van Damme pose. We're actually doing the exact same pose, he's just got a better angle. And yeah, Tay also did some poses, but I mean she does yoga and stuff, so who even cares? 20 minutes later, we made it. Sure, the waterfall is kinda sideways, but it still counts as a waterfall. And if you bring some kai, there's plenty of space at the bottom to sit down and have a feed. Yes, maybe I did ruin my shoes, but it's still worth it. This place is amazing. And still better than most of the waterfalls I've seen in my life. And that's at least 3. So yeah, till next time. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more episodes of me just generally stumbling through my quarter-life crisis and relating everything back to Lord of the Rings. Probably. Peace.